Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. How was your morning po? Okay, that's good. So, I am here in front of you to report story, which is common story that we heard today. Even sa una pa. So, before I start, I have here a picture. Look at the picture. Can you look at the picture and guess what is that? Or is called prefix in one word. So, what did you see in the picture? Okay, there's a heart, there's an arrow, there's an what else? Okay, Cupid, very good. That's Cupid. So, have you heard the story of Cupid? Very good. So, kisa na guti ang partner ni Cupid? Okay, very good. See? Psyche. So, nakabati na mo sa story about a tale of Cupid and Psyche. Wow! You're know that the tale of Cupid and Psyche. Okay, so today we're going to discuss the story about the Cupid and Psyche. But before that, ato sang ila-ilahon ang kinsay na what day sa story sa Cupid and Psyche. So, we're going to discuss the background of the author. So, kinsa ra gani author ni sa story of Cupid and Psyche? Si Lucius Apicius. So, he was born about CE 154 C and E. So, he was an excellent follower of Plato. His sect born in Mandora, a country sometimes inhabited by the Romans, and under jurisdictions of Syphax, situate and lying on the borders of Numidia and Gitulia. So, whereby called himself half a Numidian and half a Gitulian. So, he was an excellent follower of Plato. So, murag na-influence siya sa mga work ni Plato. And then, nakakreate siya og mga story, mga poems, especially kani nga story nga Psyche and Cupid nga, which is na known, sikat siya sa throughout the history nga kani nga story is sikat siya. It's because sa iyaha nga na-influence po siya sa mga works, mga writings ni Plato. Time nga born in Mandora siya, a country sometimes inhabited by the Romans. Siyempre, na-influence po siya sa mga Romans na-inhabited siya mga lugar sa lugar niya. And nakasuwat, na-create siya story nga Cupid and Psyche, which is naglalaman din ng mga Greek-Roman goddesses and goddess. Okay. So, after he went to Rome and studied there Latin tongue, she watched and labored continuous study, that he achieved to great eloquence and known and approved to be excellently learned, whereby he might rightly be called polyhistorian, that is to say, one is worth or much thinking. So, katong nakangadto na siya sa Rome, dito siya nag-study, dito siya nag-continuous study nga about sa Latin tongue sa Rome, dito sa ilang language, and then na-achieve niya ang great eloquence and was then approved to be excellent learned. Siya mo yung pinaka naay na buhat na excellent or great nga na learned sa ilang lugar. So, he might called polyhistory, which is known or many things na known na siya sa laing-laing mga butang. So, the account of Cupid and Psyche by Lucius Apicius is presented to his novel The Golden Ass, and also The Metamorphosis as an old wives' tale by a tailed woman to comfort a young woman who has been abducted by a band robbers as being held for ransom. So, ang kani siya nga the story of Cupid and Psyche is nabilong rapod siya sa na novel ni Lucius Apicius, which is The Golden Ass, as also titled The Metamorphosis. So next is, before we start, we're going to identify the setting first of the story of Cupid and Psyche. So first is, adto na sa Cupid Palace, which is ang place ni Cupid and his mother, which is ang ilang balay. Anda, underworld. Underworld katong dito si Psyche nga hingadto isugo ni ni mama ni Cupid nga ipahatag ang box to fill in sa iyang pagka-beautiful. So Mount Olympus, which is the place or the palace of Greek god Zeus or Jupiter. Next is, we have the characters and characterizations of Cupid and Psyche story. First is, syempre si Cupid. So, kisa ni si Cupid, the Roman god of love and desire, son of Venus, the beautiful youth. So, naila siya, it's because sa iyahang pako, and then sa iyang arrow as a youth. And then, siya mo the Roman god of love and desire, which means kanang kung gusto to iyang mapanaan na to, makita siya kung usa ka laki iyang mapanaan duwan kasi marang in love sila lang duha kung ma-desire nila ang love, which is kung sa ilang mga desires about love wala na diha marang makabuo sila relationship. And then, maupod siya ang son ni Venus, which is the Greek god of love and beauty. Next is Psyche. Kasi Psyche, the Greco-Roman goddess of the soul, youngest daughter of the king, the most lovely maiden exists that surpass the beauty of Venus. Okay, so Psyche is the youngest daughter of the king. Muni ang pinakagwapa or possessed the most beautiful and lovely maiden nga youngest na daughter among his two sisters. And then, exists that surpass the beauty of Venus. May hinungdan nganong na jealousy iyang mama ni Cupid, which is si Venus. So, before ni siya na goddess of the soul, muna ang story ni Cupid and Psyche nga, kani si Psyche, which is mortal na ni siya. Mortal na ni siya nga anak sa king. However, but love sa ilang relationship, diha na himo si Psyche nga gods of the soul. So, next, we have Venus. So, mao ni ang mama ni mother of Psyche, the Roman goddess of love and beauty, also called Aphrodite in Greek, mother of Cupid. So, mani ang punot dulo nga nung labay si Cupid and Psyche. So, next we have Apollo, the god of Greek prophecy and healing. So, kani si Apollo is mao ni ang naghatag sa propesya, kung sa healing propesya sa king, katong nangayo ang king of prophecy about sa destiny sa iyang anak nga si Psyche. So, dito na. So, next is we have Zephyr. Kasi ni Zephyr, nagdala ni Psyche into the palace or mansion, which is the feel ni Psyche nga. Kung usa ka sweet ang wild, midest of winds, mo ni si Zephyr. So, si Charon Santos, the ferryman. Okay, mausad ni siya ang nagdala ni Psyche into the underworld. Siya may nag-guide ni Psyche. So, before Psyche entered the door of the palace of the kingdom of the underworld, na ay tulo ka Cerberus, the three-headed dog. Okay. However, ingon daw si Venus nga para daw ma-friend ni Psyche ang three-headed dog, murag gihatagan na niya cake para ma-friend niya ang three-headed dog. So next is Ceres or Mercury. Ceres, the goddess of agriculture, grain crops, fertility, and motherly relationships. Mani ang nag-guide kung unsay purpose sa relationship nila ni Cupid and ni Psyche. So next is si Persephone or Proserpine, goddess queen of the underworld, wife of the god Hades. So,
Hinungdan nga no, ipaadto si Psyche sa goddess of the world nga. Gisugo ni Venus si Psyche nga mo ni dad dito ang box. Adto nga mo para ma-fill in ang beauty ni Venus adto mga siya ni Persephone, which is the goddess queen of the underworld. So next is we have Jupiter. Si Jupiter, the god of the sky or si Zeus, and the ruler of the Olympian gods. So mani ang pinaka high nila, which is si Zeus, the god of the sky, nga mukha sa ilang kanang sa ilang mga decision or iyang mga rule or mga policies sa iya.
So next we have the king, which is the father of Psyche, and the two sisters of Psyche. Mani ang duha ka sisters.
So let's start the story of Cupid and Psyche. So we will discuss this. Okay, there was a king who had 3 daughters, all lovely maidens. Iyang duha ka sister and si Psyche. Si Psyche ang pinaka-youngest daughter, and then ang iyang duha ka sister and sa iyang papa, which is the king of their place. The kingdom. So Psyche, but the youngest Psyche excelled her sisters so greatly. Siya ang pinaka excel sa tanan, beauty, the intelligence, the anything na possess niya sa iyang skills, and then greatly excelled compared to her sisters. So since si Psyche is nag-possess of beauty, which is surpassing the beauty over the earth and everywhere men, bisag asa nga lugar nag-gaze upon, journeyed to gaze upon her beauty. So next, Venus was enraged by this and sent her son Cupid to make the girl fall in love with the vilest and the most despicable creature there is in the whole world. So kani si Venus, mama ni Cupid, which was made a plan to send her son Cupid in order to girl Psyche nga fall in love with the vilest, is the most despicable creature there is in the world, which is si Cupid. Nga ma-in love si Psyche sa kang Cupid. So, muna'y plano ni Venus, ang mama ni Cupid. So, Venus showed Psyche to Cupid as he looked upon her. It was as if he had shot one of his arrows into his own heart. He said nothing to his mother. So, diha na nga, si Venus, nagipakita niya si Psyche to Cupid nga dapat kailangan daw panaon si or shot of one of his arrows sa kang Cupid into his own heart nga in love si Psyche sa kang Cupid. So next story is Psyche did not fall in love at all. So the king gibuhat sa king is nangayo siya prophecy about sa iyang daughter and sa destiny. So Apollo told her father that his daughter was doomed in a prophecy. He commanded also the girl to be left at the edge of a cliff. Psyche quitted her for her doom. So munay gibuhat ni Apollo para kuno adto ang girl or si Psyche adto sa iyang destiny, which is makakita na si Psyche og love. So since si Psyche gibiyaan man or gidala man siya sa edge of the cliff, so in the hilltop in the darkness Psyche sat waiting for what she knew or not what terror. So sa pagkataod-taod na-feel niya nga na naghunghong sa iya. The stillness to her, the gentle breathing, which is maana si Zephyr, which is the god of the sweetest and mildest of winds. So na-feel po ni Psyche nga giar siya daw siyang Zephyr in a gentle way. Next, So Psyche, in the morning, Psyche woke up beside a bright river, and its bank was a mansion stately and beautiful as the book for God. So di hada siya gidani, Zephyr, and nasa mansion which stately and beautiful as birth for a god, with gold and walls of beautiful floors and silver. One night ana si Psyche, which is nag-offer of favor nga her sisters were coming to visit her, and then she promised to do as but eventually begs him to allow her to see her sisters. So si Zephyr naman di man pud mosugot nga mo visit siya sa iyang mga sisters. However, pagkadugayan, he relents, and the next day they are carried to the house by the same wind. Isugot na si Zephyr nga mo visit si Psyche sa iyang sister's house. So, ang iyang mga sister nakita po nila nga kanang gida siya sa ni Zephyr, and wealth and jealousy jealous. So nakuan po sila jealousy nga kanang it's because of kanang dato lagi to nga mansion nang murag nakuan po sila nga jealous kaniya siya na gida sa ni Zephyr. Okay. Throughout the day, except for the strange companionship of the voices, she was alone. But in some inexplicable way, she felt sure that with the coming of the night, her husband would be with her. And so it happened. So, si Psyche nag-expect, throughout the day, nag-expect jud siya nga. Aside sa companionship ni Zephyr, nag-expect jud siya nga. Kana nga night is night nga mo abot iyang husbands. And dapat daw na siya mahitago. So, when she felt him beside her ear, all her fears left her. She knew without seeing him that there was no monster or shape of terror, but the lover and husband she had longed and waited for. So, pagkataod-taod is, diha na nga, na-feel niya nga, ang iyang husband is nara siya sa iyang beside, nara siyang kilid. All first left her, so, wag na wala iyang mga kahadlok. So, she knew na lang, nakaibaw na siya daan nga kanang, bisag dili niya makita, but she felt nga kanang walay monster or terror, pero iyang hinigugma nga bana or husband nga gihuwat niya if she might see her sisters again, and gives into her but warns her that they are planning evil. When they came, they revealed the oracle of Apollo and convinced her that her husband was not a man but the fearful serpent. Okay, so kaninga time wala pa jud kay baw si Psyche na si Cupid ay iyang husband. So in the next night, if she might, Psyche told Cupid or asked Cupid nga kung makita daw niya ang mga iyang sisters, and dapat daw hatagan ni Cupid or warn nga dili na niya makita or dili na dapat dili na daw sila muanha sa mansion. It's because they are planning evil, something evil. So when they came, so naabot sila, and then when they came, ang oracle of Apollo and which reveal nila ang oracle of Apollo and convince ni si Psyche sa iyang mga sister nga ang iyang husband is not a man. Dili daw si Cupid man but the fearful serpent. Which is next is when Haley sleeping quietly, she summoned all her courage and lit the lamp. She tiptoed to the bed and holding the light high above, she gazed at what she lay there. The relief and the rapture that filled her heart. Yet nakaingon na lang siya, no monster was revealed but the sweetest and fairest of all creatures. So sa dihang si Cupid natog kanipot si Psyche, she summoned all her courage nga makita niya ang iyahang bana, which is or her husband nga kung unsa ba di ay ni siya si Cupid, monster ba or dili. So she summoned her courage and let the lamp pasigan niyang lamparilya. She tiptoed to the bed and holding the light high above, iyang iwagan si Cupid, and she gazed at what lay there. So, mura siya kanang na-shock or nakakulatan kung unsa iyahang nakita. The relief and the rapture that filled her heart is, so kung iyang na-feel sa iyang heart, or nahadlok ba siya or nakaingon na lang siya is, no monster was revealed, but the sweetest and fairest of all creatures. So, mura bag na-feel niya nga, bisag nakaingon iyang mga igsoon is kanang iyahang husband is monster, but dili di ay. So, no monster was revealed but the sweetest and fairest of all creatures. See? Mo na si Cupid. Describe na si. Okay. Since si Psyche is summoned all her courage to makita ang iyang husband. However, some of the oil fell from the lamp upon his shoulders sa sa shoulder ni Cupid, which is tagduan siya og oil. He started awake. Nagsugod si Cupid nga more na shock. So he saw the light and knew her faithlessness and he fled from her. Murag na disappoint si Cupid about sa gibuhat ni Psyche. She rushed out after him into the night. She could not see him, but he heard his voice speaking to her. Love cannot live where there is no trust. So, si kanipod si Psyche, which is a disappoint po siya, it's because si Cupid yung nakitaan. She rushed out after him into the night, so she could not see him. Si Psyche, di siya musugot nga makita si Cupid. And then, but she heard his voice. Nabatian ang voice ni Cupid, which is like, ingon si Cupid nga, love cannot live where there is no trust. Next is, nakaingon na lang si Psyche nga, the God of love. He was my husband and I wretched that I could not keep faith with him. Diba? Murag na ma-discourage sa iyang gibuhat, murag na regrets ang iyang mga gipang buhat or gipang sulti sa niya kang Cupid. So, I can spend the rest of my life searching for him. So, iyang buhaton para makitaan niya si Cupid, which is si Cupid po, after atong panghitabuahin, sabihin go out and go away. It's because of the gi-istorya po ni, nasakitan siya sa gi-istorya ni Psyche. So, if he has no more love left for me, at least I can show him how much I love him. Char. So, iya yung ibuhat tanan, iya yung buhaton tanan, iya yung spend iyang life sa pag-search sa kang Cupid. So, she started in her journey. She had no idea where to go. She knew that only she would not give up looking for him is tungod sa iyahang mama ni Cupid. So, Psyche came into Venus' presence. The goddess laughed aloud and asked her sorrowfully if she was seeking a husband, since the one she had would have nothing to do with her because she had almost died of the burning one she had given him. So, murag na dismaya or something nga murag nalipay or na kuan si Vin sa ang mama ni Cupid. It's because nagpakita ang presence ni Psyche. Nagpakita siya as mangayog advice kung saon niya pangita si Cupid. So, ang giingon lang ni Venus, ang mama ni Venus is gave some tasks to Psyche. So, she gave some tasks to Psyche, which is the first task is Venus took a great quantity of the smallest of the seeds, wet and poppy and melee and so on, mixed them all together in a heap. So, si Psyche po is wadyon niya nabuhat. It's because wadyon niya nabuhat yung task. It's because heartbroken lagi. So, wala di siya maka-concentrate and di niya mabuhat kana nga task in one day, especially sa pagkanang paghiwalay-hiwalay sa seeds, sa wet, sa pop, melee, and so on. So, sa kadugayon, na ay nagtabang sa iya, which is ang ants ang nagtabang sa iya ha. And must lay all dirt every seed with its kinds. Di was that Venus found she came back and very angry she was to see it. So, pagkakita ni Venus, na nagtabang sa iya, especially na, angry ang si Venus, which is the god ng mama ni Cupid. So, the second task is, the next morning, she devised another task. Nag-devise po si Venus of another task. Down the river bank where the bushes grow thick are shipped with fleeces of gold. Psyche must fetch some of their shining wool, and Psyche accomplished this pulling by the wool from the sharp briars. Venus received an evil smile and said that someone help her. Okay. So, ang yung task is, itong mga brushes grow thick and shipped with fleeces of gold. Psyche must fetch some of their shining wool. Ang waon niya ang mga shining wool. And Psyche accomplished this by pulling the wool from the sharp briars. However, si Venus naman, pagkita niya, is nadismaya. It's because napukunahing tabang sa iyaha and said that someone helped her sa iyahang task. The third task is, next, Venus made her get a vial of black water from Terrible, which is called Hateful the River Styx. So, the third task is, Venus made her get a vial of black water. Gisugo daw siya pagpakuha og black water from Terrible, which is called Hateful the River Styx, which is kanang ang kanang river Styx is kanang magitawag na sila kanang mga hateful nga kanang dili sila ganahan ana nga river. And then this time her savior was an eagle. who poised on his great wings beside her, seized the flask from her with his beak, and brought it back to her full of the black waters. Nanapog ko ng hintabang sa kang Psyche, which is, her savior was an eagle, nga hintabang sa iyaha. So, seized the flask from her with his beak, and nagkuha og black water, and gihatag po sa iyaha, Psyche. So, however, Venus kept on and once cannot accuse Psyche of some stupidity sa iyang gibuhat. It's because gihatagan siya task, and then naman hintabang sa iya, which is nagpatabang siya sa laing mga sa eagles, sa ants, gusagkin sa pa. So the only effect of all that had happened was to make her try again. So try again. Ang yung another task is Venus gave Psyche a box which she was to carry to the underworld. So gihatagan si Psyche og box nga dalon daw sa underworld and asked Persephone to fill with some of her. Next is Psyche. Okay. Sa pagkuan, last task ni Psyche is, sa pag-ato niya sa underworld, so na siya, nasugatan nga isa ka ferryman, which is, Psyche found her direction how to get to Persephone Palace. First, through a great hole in the earth, where she must give the ferryman, Charon, a penny take her across, which is, di pangalan og Charon, nga, mugayad sa iyaha across to the underworld, take her across to the underworld. So, before entering the palace, na siya masugatan nga Cerberus, which is the three-headed dog. Ang gibuhat niya is ingon si Venus nga dapat hapagan na daw og cake para ma-friendly ang mga three-headed dog. So gihatagan og cake ang mga three-headed dog and let her pass. Proserpine was willing to do Venus a service, and Psyche greatly encouraged. However, it's because sa curiosity po ni Psyche bore the box, returning far more quickly than she got down. She brought up herself through her curiosity, and still more her vanity. She felt that she must see what that beauty charm in the box. Tungod lagi sa curiosity, murag kanang iyang ganahan nga ukbon or ablihan ang box is because basin na ako nay charm or kanang magamit niya sa iyang kagalingon. So she was unable to resist it. It's because of the temptation sa i-open jud niya ang box. To her shocked disappointment, she saw nothing here. Na-disappoint siya. It's because what daw siya nakita or what daw siya something nga nakita nga angay niya magamit. Immediately, however, a deadly languor took possession of her and she fell into her heaven. Okay, ang suda ay sa box. Ang gihatag ni Venus is deadly languor, which is kanang more siya something kaluluwa or nga naposes sa iyahang body and she fell into a heavy sleep. So, nakatulog siya. So at this juncture, the god of love himself stepped forward. Okay, abot na si Cupid. Nakita niya si Psyche nga na nakahigda na sa palace, beside the palace, and he found her at once. And then, ang ibuhat ni Cupid is he had wiped the sleep from her eyes and put it back into the box. Okay? Balik niya ang box. So si Cupid, nahiled naman siya sa iyang wands. It's because sa katong conflict lagi nila between Psyche and Cupid. It's from disappointment of Psyche into him. So, nahil na iyang one sa iyang heart. So, nadihanera sa po niya nga kailangan niya si Psyche. So, then waking her with just a prick from one of his arrows. So, pinaagi sa iyang arrows, di pana si Psyche nga para makamata siya. And scolding her a little for her curiosity, he bade her take Prosperance's box to his mother. Okay. So, iyang uli na ang box sa iyang mother, which is box ni Venus. And after, he assured her that all thereafter would be well. I-assure niya kang Psyche nga, kanang, pagkahuman na aning gulo is dapat nanay kaayuhan. So, while the joyful Psyche hastened on her errand, the god flew up to the Olympus. After ato, okay, joyful nang libayon na daw sila si Psyche and Cupid. So, si Psyche flew up to the Olympus, hingato siya sa Olympus and make certain that Venus will give no more trouble. Ngayon siya, condition nga, ang mama ni Cupid, or kang Venus nga dapat, dili na siya hatagan og trouble, dili ni Venus hatagan og trouble silang duha. So, Venus would give no more trouble, so he went straight to Jupiter. At na dayon, gilahos ni si Zeus, which is the father, the Greek god of sky and the father of gods and man, considered at once to all that Cupid asked. Okay. So, diha na. Si Jupiter, called a full assembly of the gods, announced to all, including Venus, that Cupid and Psyche were formally married. Okay, na married na, kasi wala na may kaguluhan, and then peaceful na ilang situations. So, Jupiter called assembly which is announced to all that, including Venus, that God and Cupid were formally married, and he proposed to bestow immortality upon the bride. O, yan na immortal si Psyche. Okay. Sa pagka-immortal ni Psyche, para ma-immortal si Psyche, so Mercury brought Psyche into the palace of the gods, and Jupiter himself gave the ambrosia to taste, which made her immortal. So, gihatagan daw ambrosia si Psyche sa gikan sa kang Jupiter, gihatagan siya ni Jupiter og ambrosia para ipainom or patilaw sa iyaha nga mahimo siya nga immortal. Diha na siya mahimo nga immortal. This of course changed the situation. So all came to a most happy end, love and the soul, for that is what Psyche means, has sought, and after sore trials found each other, and that union could never be broken. So diha na nagsugod ang ilang happily ever after nga pagsasama. So love and the soul, for that is what Psyche means, had sought, and after sore trials found each other, and that union could never be broken. So after all the trials, sa ilang mga trials sa ilang relationship, sa ilang love, it's commit na nila ang ilang peace. Wala na sila kaguluhan nga, commit na lang happily ever after nga relationship. So found na nila ang ilahang usag-usa, and that union could never be broken. Char. Sana all. The last part is the theme. Okay, so may theme aning a story. So love cannot live where there is no trust. It's because, as in the story of Cupid and Psyche, gi-highlight na nila ang ilang theme, which is ang trust and love sa usa ka relationship. So, of course, it wouldn't be much of a story if Cupid and Psyche just fell in love and everything was happily ever after. But Psyche shows distrust, diba? Sa isa ka relationship, tama dyan tayo mga distrust. So, in Cupid, and get a glimpse of what he looks like against his wishes. So, Cupid abandons her, showing that love cannot survive if there is no trust between two people. Yeah, tinood. After determinedly completing a series of tasks, however, Psyche eventually regains Cupid and finds eternal bliss, perhaps, that teaching the lesson that lasting love can only be attained through dedication. Hanana, realize ni Psyche na, after all sa iyahang struggle, sa iyang dedication sa love ni Cupid, para lang makitaan si Cupid, iyang gi-dedicate iyang love para kay Cupid. After all the struggles na iyang na-attained, it's because narealize niya nga love niya si Cupid. Na-feel niya ang love kay Cupid. The last part is implication of the stories. The story implies that in relationships, in order to have a harmonious relationship with your partner, you must have love. Siyempre, love is the most important ingredient in a relationship. Yes, of course. Without love, your relationship has no direction. And the other thing is trust. If you really love your partner, must both have trust on her or him. Nothing can be taken from you if you trust each other. Especially nowadays, what's so-called LDR or long-distance relationship. In engaging this kind of trust is the primary value to be projected by the two lovers. Especially, lagyo mo, niya may trust. Why relationship, mas strong, mala. They don't know what each other is doing because they are not right beside each other. So, the important thing to do is you trust one another. To build a strong and long-lasting relationship, you need love. So, murag ang theme ani is marlate rapod nato sa atong life, which is if you commit a relationship, that love cannot live without trust.
Okay, sir, that's all. Thank you for listening to my report. Hopefully, have a good, blessed Sunday.